皆さん、こんにちは。
こんにちは。グレッケイラです。
いや、マクマリンです。久しぶりね。
久しぶりです。
Hi, welcome to Musings from Japan number 34.
34.
34. 34 回. Yay.
Yep.
The 34th. The 34th rendition of Musings from Japan.
第34回です。
Okay, sorry. All right, well, anyway, I hope everyone's excited like we are because it's been a long time for us because, crazy things, schedules, weather, the pandemic, lots of crap going on around the world. But I've got my water, so I'm okay.
Oh, I need my water. It's hot today.
It's hot. Boy, it's hot.
It's hot. It's cloudy, but it's hot.
Let's start with weather because, that's a Greg Taylorism we need to maintain, because Greg keeps me in touch.
That's right. So let's see.
How's the weather in your town?
Right now it is it's in
just keep swimming.
Let's see. Oh, sorry. Okay. You know what? Why are all my phone things in Fahrenheit? I don't know.
I don't know. Mine's in Celsius. Thank you.
Yeah, I always have mine in Celsius because I said, when I come to Japan, when I moved to Japan 8 years ago, in 2013, I said, I'm going to completely convert to the metric system. And I did. So
took a while, but yeah, you're there.
I think it's 28 or 30 now.
For you, yeah, that's here in beautiful Shibata on the Japan Sea, it is a balmy 25, but it's going to get up to 29 today, which doesn't mean squat to you Americans who are Fahrenheitist. How's that? I made up a word.
Fahrenheitist.
Fahrenheitist.
Yeah, sounds.
Sorry. If I speak German with more an accuracy on German pronunciation, it's because I've been practicing this, Greg.
Beethoven.
Beethoven. I'm singing Beethoven's
Daiku. すごいな。
Zeitumschlägen Millionen.
I taught at a school. I think I told this story, but I taught at a school.
We've heard that one.
At junior high school, and the whole student body of the school, all 700 students sang the choral part. The professional orchestra.
In Japan, there are 3 choral scores that most schools use. All of them have katakana. So the German they're singing is actually very poor. And I noticed our conductor for this, who's from the Tokyo Phil and does the Tokyo Opera Company, he was saying that there's only 2 scores that they recommend. And this is the Barenreiter. Barenreiter. Thank you. Okay, so he says this is one of the 2 that they recommend. There's a Japanese version, but basically it's a copy of this. And what they do is in the Japanese version of this score, they actually take the German, they use katakana, but there's so many different nuances of katakana. It's not the basic katakana that you see people write over Western words. That is more detailed. There's actually a lot of script, and they explain how to do this, how to roll the R's properly, and how to, So actually, that score is but it's too technical for a junior high or elementary kid to actually try to sing it, But so the first thing that the conductor does was we were doing the German. We were doing the Bach Mass, the B minor Mass, which we didn't perform because of the pandemic. He focused on that. The Bach is even more difficult because the German in that work is far older than this German. So there's actually other nuances that need to be taken care of. Anyway, so Fahrenheit. Okay,
yeah,
sorry.
Fahrenheit.
I got onto a diatribe here. So go ahead, Greg. I will sing while you do the weather. Here we go.
Well, okay. So today's weather is up. By the way, I was looking at the Mark. You better watch out. You're going to get hit by a big thunderstorm soon.
At 11 o'clock.
That's right. It's coming there. It's
I went to bed
11:15.
I went to bed last night, and there was a crack of thunder and lightning. The whole house, it was dark anyway. The whole house lit up like you remember the old flash cubes that you see in those old. The whole house lit up, and then went dark, and then it rumbled. The house rumbled, and it was like immediate. They must have been right above the house, Greg.
Yeah, it was.
It went.
Well, my parents' house was hit by lightning, and,
cool.
it caused $30,000 or $40,000 damage to it.
I wouldn't mind. This is a rental.
Yeah, this is in California, and I think that was interesting. And I remember seeing on Channel 4 News, they talked about somebody in LA, their house had been hit by lightning. They did a big story on it. Well, my parents, the damage was far more severe.
Yeah.
And there's no news about it at all.
Yeah.
And what was interesting was their house, it hit the antenna of the house, and it flung the antenna like 100 feet away from the house. 100 feet.
I can see.
It was a massive explosion, and it blew a gigantic hole in the roof above the garage, and the parts of the roof rained down on the Lexus automobile that they had in the garage, and caused several $1,000s of damage to the Lexus.
Did you have to say a Lexus?
It was a Lexus.
That's kind of like white privilege here. You talk.
No, let's not get into that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. It's everybody has the right to have the car they want to have. So
another white privilege answer.
No. It's not. It's like it's called America.
See if it was like in America, if the lightning would have hit my parents.
The original America.
The lightning hit the antenna and it jumped all this shit on my Chevy.
Yeah.
Because my parents have Chevys.
Sounds like Cheech and Chong.
No, it's my family, Greg.
Okay. Well, anyway,
mom, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. I didn't want to.
So anyway, they caused several $1,000s of damage to the car and the roof above the garage, and the roof above the living room, which is next to the garage. It blew a hole in that, and debris rained down inside the house.
Excellent.
And then it fried the entire electrical and
that's what I was going to say.
To the house.
Everything must have been. All those wires became conduits of all that.
It did. All the television, the refrigerators, the washer and dryer, everything had replaced.
Were you in the house?
No, my parents were in the house.
Okay.
And my mom, it was more than 20 years ago, but my mom, what was interesting, I think my mom was sitting by the where the hole was created.
Did she get a perm?
No, I don't know, but they'd had a violent thunderstorm earlier in the evening, and it was just raining.
Isn't that the Bride of Frankenstein?
Yeah, I don't know. But what happened was the storm had been they thought it had kind of abated except for the heavy rain, and then out of the blue there was just one rogue bolt of lightning, and that bolt of lightning decided to. It was like the lottery. They hit the lottery.
I'm gonna randomly destroy somebody else's.
So lightning struck. So it's too bad for my parents that it wasn't the lottery.
But it's a great story. You have that story for the rest of your life.
For the rest of my life, for the rest of my siblings' lives, my brother and sister. Yeah. So it was. But so that's the weather there. I know that in California today, on this day, I'm not going to mention the day, but today it's currently in Fresno, California, 109 degrees.
Well, all I know is in Death Valley, which is near where I grew up. It's only 140.
Oh, they hit the record.
Almost.
I mean, because seriously, Mark, the record. Be serious about this, because the record throughout recorded history has been 134, and it's never gone.
No, it was. What was it? See, okay, I'll write it down. I'll check it out. Go ahead, keep talking.
Yeah, because I'm a stickler for accuracy, and but it was pretty. I know they were talking about.
I'm sorry. It was 51. It's 51 today.
So for those of us who don't speak metric, what is 51 in Fahrenheit?
Don't speak metric. I don't know. I have to go check it out. Death Valley hit 130 on Friday. Close to the world record.
Yeah, close to the world record. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. And actually, I saw something. You want to be stickler. I saw the 130 degree. That's the air heat, but the ground temperature, they said was closer to 144.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. That's incredible.
So and there,
that's life and death.
I know you shouldn't go there.
Nope.
You know, and anyway, and also
true.
The worst part is the fires, man. You know, it's like, man, and
in recent times, Canada.
Well, yeah, the whole West Coast is on fire, and you had the earthquake that just hit.
Yeah, in California.
I was noticing people on the Facebook were talking about the beachfront property is going to come true. My father's always said that the reason he lives in Big Bear is so when the San Andreas fault severs California in half, he would be on he would be like Malibu, the new Malibu.
Well, you know, that was part of that Superman movie from 1978.
Right.
And that was the goal of Lex Luthor.
But it's true. Eventually, the fault will sever and cut California. That's how the tectonics work. There is a severing of the fault. It is sliding, and it's natural. You know, for those of you who want to believe in nature, it is natural. Earthquakes are completely natural phenomenon.
That's right. They said in Africa there's a rift valley forming. In Kenya, and they say eventually that will become an inland ocean, right. And Africa will separate.
Right. Well, it did already. Pangea, remember Pangea,
Yeah.
Africa and South, and then it created the Taiseo.
Oh, the Pacific Ocean.
No, Taiheo.
That's the Atlantic Ocean.
Taiseo.
That's
I
right.
learned that in my class with the students.
Well, you know who taught me Taiheo?
The company that you worked for here.
No.
Oh, that was the name of the company I worked for here. Anyway.
Oh, really? Taiheo?
That's the entity that's out in Nakajo was called Taiheo. Yeah.
Unto.
Yeah.
Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, I don't know why, even though we're on the Japan Sea.
Yeah, was it the same kanji as Pacific Ocean?
Exactly.
Interesting.
How's that?
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, it's if you did, it's a fascinating process. It's a fascinating thing to understand.
So what about your weather? So we're going to get hit, like you said. Yeah. I'm going to get hit by a storm in about an hour and a half.
Yeah, here. I think we're going to get afternoon thunderstorms that look like severe. So, but that remains to be seen if they actually materialize, because they're going to have to develop.
Though, it's going to happen.
It's on their way. They're on their way.
You can see it.
I saw them.
And I'm looking out my window. I can see the wind is blowing now. Like this morning after the flooding, after I went and checked up the flooding, you can see on the tire line of my car where the water went up in my driveway. And if I just went and followed it to the street, it was about a meter high.
So you had severe rain yesterday?
Yeah, last night, and it's still flooded outside around my house. You can see big, maybe about at the deepest a foot of water, standing water around the house. It's a good thing that I put lawn and created a lawn landscape here, as opposed to a Japanese style garden, or the hatake, the like a lot of people use land to make vegetable gardens. If I would have had that, all of that dirt and soil would have just run everywhere.
Yeah, you know what's interesting is you do get a lot of rain. It rains on average every 2 days in Niigata in your prefecture. And
one of the wettest in Japan.
Yeah, but the rains are often not so severe that it creates extensive flooding. Although flooding is not uncommon.
Yeah, but it's lucky I don't live in the mountains or by the rivers.
Yeah, and you know, but flooding and disasters are just a natural part of Japan. You know, it's every year. It's during rainy season. And for example, I saw yesterday's news, Kyushu, the rivers were overflowing in Kyushu, and then just a short time ago, they had that severe mudslide in Atami, Shizuoka Prefecture.
Right.
Which is devastating. And I don't know how many people it actually killed. Dozens.
Oh yeah, I haven't been paying attention to the numbers, but it was. But what was scary about that was that the debris that flooded or washed down that mudslide was man-made.
Oh, was that true?
Yeah, see, what they did was about 2 kilometers above the city up in the mountains.
Yeah.
For some reason, it hasn't been clear to me, even in Japanese or in English, they did some sort of grading up on the mountain, on this area, and they brought in dirt from other areas and dumped it in there and packed it and graded the area. And this was done maybe 10 years ago. But they think that adding new soil on top of the original bedrock soil, that's what washed down. So
I think what happened, I mean, to me, because it was just massive volumes of water with the debris and the mud.
But that's what I mean. They have flood control system built along that river out in that mountain area, because they've had floods in the past centuries, they said. So there is a system, but the amount of soil that they had brought in overwhelmed the system, and it was never designed to handle that much kind of flood debris, and it just overflowed all the banks of all the flood, and that's why it was so severe, because the volume was greater than they.
Well, the whole mountainside gave away.
But what gave away was that area where they had added the soil.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
that's the fun. So now people are like, who did that? And they're interviewing farmers. Yeah, I remember all the trucks going up there. I don't know why they're going up there.
Well, I saw that it not only, up in the hills, it washed away several roads, so they're impassable now.
Roads and houses and
the houses, it was like 80 or it damaged many and washed away many buildings in the town. And it's a small town.
Yeah, I mean, it hit right in the dead center part of the town.
Yeah, it did. Just very close to the Shinkansen station.
Well, they had to stop the Shinkansen there because they weren't sure if the foundation was set. So they did an emergency stop and they did a check. It's fine, but they weren't sure about the foundation, if there was any damage or if the flood had washed away any of the foundation work there. So they did run it there, and they did an emergency stop, checked the whole line, and then they'd slowly go through. But right now what they do is when they run the Shinkansen through there, it slows down.
Wow. Because you know what, that's amazing, because that's the entire country. That's the trunk line. That's the main route.
That's one of the main.
That is the number one.
The route. Number one, right? Yeah, that's the first
that's
one.
It. Because what happens, you have 3 different types of Shinkansens that run that route. You have the Nozomi, which is nonstop from Tokyo to Nagoya.
Yeah.
And then you have the Hikari, which is stops every so often.
The local.
No, then that's a Kodama.
Oh, Kodama's a local. Okay.
Yes, and then so the Hikari stops at several places. It's still pretty fast.
What do you call
And then the Kodama.
Not the express, but the semi-express.
Well, we have, we do have here in the Nagoya area, we have trains that are called semi-express.
Is it semi? Okay, I wasn't
kind
sure.
Kind of like a semi-express.
Right. Yeah. So, kind of an unusual term for people in America. They're like semis, like semi.
Well, but they have a lot of different terms for trains in Japan, the train systems, right? So,
but again, Americans wouldn't know really that kind of thing, because we don't really do that. Super express, semi-express, the local express, limited express.
What I wanted to show you something. So this, I might have shown this on a previous Musings from Japan, and here we are in Musings number 34.
34.
Yeah, Musings from Japan number 34.
And
when we decided to do this at the start of the pandemic, what was interesting is that, we were thinking about a name, and then we decided on Musings, because that's what we're doing. We're musing about Japan.
Just musing, yeah.
Musings from Japan. We're two expats living in Japan.
That's right.
And so, but here, this card here, this is called an IC card in Japan, and because it has the chip, right? Is that why they call it that?
Yours has a chip on the back, right?
Doesn't it have a chip in here somewhere?
No,
I don't see a chip in this.
They're IC cards, but they have this one. Like I have my Suica card, Suica, which is watermelon. So you can see the logo up here. Looks like a watermelon.
I'm trying to think. This is JR for my region.
Right.
This is Japan Railways for
That's
my region.
Toika.
Yeah. And I don't I use this card, but you can put a balance on each of these cards. They can store a balance of about $200 US.
This little mark on the back center, that's the chip right there. You should have one too, right?
You know, on the Toyka, I don't.
Yeah, mine's a little older, so yours might be more advanced, because I think some of them don't. You can't see it, but this one, they told me that this little mark is it's a scan chip. So when you put this in the machine, that's what it's scanning. That little.
So what about this here? It's that JR Tokai. Is that what it says?
Right. Yours says JR Tokai.
Yeah.
Mine says JR Higashi Nihon.
Higashi Nihon. East Japan.
It's too difficult.
And this is a different company altogether. This card here, you got that little smile.
What the hell is that?
It's a Manaka card.
Manaka.
And
it's
Manaka,
a middle card?
Yeah, right.
Manaka means middle.
Oh, I see. You put it in. It's got the arrow for which way you.
I beg your pardon.
Got the arrow, but
yeah.
Manaka. This is Meitetsu Nagoya. This is Nagoya Railway.
That would
Nagoya
be
railroad.
Your local company, right? That runs.
Yeah. Now I used to have. In
Japan, we don't have Niigata. We don't have one. So.
And altogether, there's six different companies that operate the railway systems in for JR.
For JR.
JR. But there's many different companies.
Dozens.
There's a lot of companies. Yeah.
Hanshin, Hankyu.
Kintetsu. And then
you have Hanshin Hankyu, don't they?
No, not in my area.
Oh, just in Osaka.
And if we do, I don't know. But I know that you can take from Nagoya Station, Kintetsu to Osaka Namba.
Right.
And so Osaka, the center of Osaka, you can take a great train.
You go to the Kintetsu Namba station, not the JR Namba station.
Yeah.
Probably. They have different stations for all those cats.
But they're located at the same general area.
Right.
So
Namba's the area.
Yeah. So, and it could be in the same. Well, anyway, this is my Suica card, and now I think I registered this card with JR.
Well, you have to. That's the only way you can get it.
No, you don't have to register this card.
Yes, you do, because that's how your name got on there.
Well, that's how I think though. I think I didn't. I think
it says Taylor Gregg on there.
Yeah.
Mine says Money Mark, and it's stacked. And you can katakana. You can kind of see faintly. See, what Greg has is just a regular card, but mine is called a Teiki. It shows the actual station that I catch it from and where it ends. So I use this for work before and it's specifically set up from Nishishibata to Niigata. So I just pay a certain amount for this, and actually it works out to
that
be cheaper.
Cards that kind of setup is great, and I did that when I lived in Niigata too.
Well, and I do this through my school because I register with them, and they give me money for my transportation, and I apply it to this, and that's how I get around.
Yeah, but what's great is you can ride the train, and you could ride the train an unlimited amount of times between those two stations.
Right, and then also with this, like what Greg has, I can add money to this. So like sometimes when I used to go to Tokyo pre-pandemic for events or something, and I would ride the local JR, I would use this week.
Oh, great.
Okay. And it just would work like a debit. It would deduct from the amount of money that's on. That's what you got.
Yeah.
That's
and I think they store typically about $200 US, about Nimayen.
I think even more.
I don't know,
because I know students who use it from Nagaoka. They spend a lot of money on it, like upwards of Goemon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So and then check this out. This is another card I have. This is Nagoya.
Oh, I have a Starbucks card.
I even have a Tokyo one, but I got this particular card at the. This is my Starbucks card, and I got it at the Nagoya airport, the Chubu Sentai Kuko, Kokusai Kuko. And Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Let's see, we're Greg.
Where's that from?
It's just from Starbucks.
Yeah.
I just got 2 Starbucks cards.
We're just showing our cards here, folks. But, I got, who's that from?
You got to read it.
I'm looking at it. It's
Orange.
Gyuto
Orange Stadium.
Oh.
Stadium.
Is that
Gyuto
where the
Stadium.
Albi Rex play?
No, this is a music studio.
That's in Furumachi.
Where I practice music. This is the card. So
Is that in Furumachi, Nana?
Yep, you can see my signature there.
そうなんだ。本当だ。
What it is we're talking about point cards. So when I use the studio, I need to use this to reserve the studio.
Do you recognize this one?
Yeah, I got mine around here someplace.
Yeah, this is a Yodobashi camera.
So the way that I use this would be similar to Greg's Yodobashi. You use this to register, and you get points, and then I get discounts on studio rentals in the future.
Yeah. And then what's this? This is my look I don't have this here. Kojima. There used to be Kojima for a while in Eon and Shibata. Hey, so they used to have a Seibu department store in Eon in Okazaki here. And now that Seibu department store is
music.
Joshin Electronics, Joshin Denki.
That's right.
So I have a 3-story electronics store in Eon Mall. Here's my big camera, Mark.
More important.
That's my favorite card.
Right.
That's my favorite coffee shop.
Dotor Coffee.
We got this.
This is, yep. Oh.
And I could show my picture. Let me see if I can show my picture. There's my picture. Yeah, you got that there.
Wait a minute. More important, my oldest card, Greg. Here you go. Ready?
Yeah. T-point.
My Tsutaya. No, it's not a
Tsutaya.
You use it for T-points now, but look at this, Greg. This is where you used to be able to use it. All the different companies in the back. This is very old. I've had this for over 20 years.
Wow.
This card. And see, look, maybe you can't see it. Look on the back. To renew it, they put a piece of paper on it. I haven't renewed it since 2018.
So, I have a question. Do you recognize this card?
Oh, yeah. Video 1. I have my video 1.
Do you think it's still valid in Shibata?
Yes. Mine is.
I hope
My video 1 card was set up in Niigata.
I used to rent videos from that Shibata store. I'd go down there all the time and rent videos.
Actually, your big card is a little older than mine, huh? Maybe.
Yep.
Put it.
Yeah, that's big camera.
But it's got the QR on it.
Oh yeah. And then I got this. That's my grocery store.
Ponta.
Ponta, yeah.
Ponta, you go to Gale. Use Ponta, Ponta at Lawson.
Yeah. Convenience store. Now this
Greg,
is
you need this one.
What is that?
Kokokara Fine. This is the drug store that I go to.
It's a Visa. You got a Visa.
No, well, and you can do that. Card? No, it's just it's a point card.
So is it like a debit card?
If you earn a lot of points, you can use it to buy discount foods, or I buy tissue and things like that.
Well, look at this. This is what I can put up to $500 on.
Well, yeah, I just showed you.
7-Eleven Nanako card. Oh, you got a new one.
That's a Quo card.
Quo card.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this card I use to pay my bills all the time for my health insurance,
this would be nice.
pension,
Look at this
all
one.
that stuff. Yeah. What's that?
Read it. Italia Ken.
Oh yeah, Miola card.
This is a discount card for a hotel in Niigata.
Great. And that hotel's 150 years old.
There's my Yodobashi.
There it is. Here's from Love Law.
Shopping.
Love Law. This is Love Law.
And then Kore.
Anshin.
Kei's Denki. Look at my finger.
Passaporto.
Kei's Denki.
Kei's Denki, yeah. Good old Kei's Denki.
Denki is electronics store.
Oh, look at this.
Mr. Donut. A
Yeah,
donut. I used to have them. This is one of my favorite cards.
What's that?
It's a golf card. Golf. You go to the
Nice.
golf range, the golf garden.
Now this card here is, they send me this from AU. Oh, I shouldn't show this.
Yeah, sure.
But I showed the number real quick, so it's like a credit card.
Yeah, go ahead.
Anyway, so this card here, where's the
They
logo?
can't use it.
No, I don't trust that. So
Don't, because I mean you don't trust the people who watch Musings from Japan.
no, anybody can see this video.
You don't trust the people who watch us.
I do trust the people, but
See,
not everybody.
ladies and gentlemen, Greg is wary.
That's right. So yeah, so those are some of my cards there.
Yeah, I got a lot of funky cards. I got to put my cards away. I got to clean my wallet. Actually,
I got a couple cards I can take out. And you know, today I'm wearing my Thai shirt. So I got a Thai shirt on from Thailand.
it's not tie dye. Yeah.
No tie-dye, but it's from Thailand.
Anyway, so yeah, so today, you know, it's a funky day, man. It's a funky day in the neighborhood. So summer's coming up. Summer's coming up. What do you think, Greg? What's up for the summer? Even this is getting close to post-band. You're gonna get your vaccination?
Well, my wife got her first shot yesterday.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah,
When do you get your
You know what's
when
funny?
you
She
get
told me a story. She says, and I'm going to share this with everybody.
yeah.
And Junko, I hope you don't mind. But she says, okay, hold your arm. And so she held her arm
Uh-huh.
like this for 15 minutes. She had to hold her arm for 15 minutes. So they told her. So that's what they told her. I'm just reporting the story.
Got it.
So she held her. She said she held her arm here for 15 minutes, and then she says, "So." And then she says, "Oh, where is it?" And she looked, and the shot was up here.
Oh,
So
she's supposed to hold it there.
hold it here.
She
Yeah,
holds
so
your
it
arm for
wouldn't-
15 minutes. So
15 minutes, so in case it bleeds.
They put the shot here, and she's holding. Okay,
Yes, she because she didn't feel it. She says it didn't hurt at all
I know.
to her. It didn't. Her shot did not bother her at all.
Yeah, I've see, and right now the people that I've known here that have gotten it, no problems.
Yeah.
It's cake. My sister.
So I'm scheduled to get my shot through a source in Nagoya on about a week from now.
for your company.
Well, through a source in Nagoya, yeah.
You gotta, yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's not like like a Russian mob is doing it.
No.
That's a source in Nagoya.
No,
That'd be kind of cool, though.
I have two possible places that I could get it from, and so I chose to go through the first.
Yeah, I
arranged
have
source.
I have two sources I can choose. One is my the company that manages my school had already set it up, and also she bought the city. I got my information from them. Now the thing is the concern that I have is this. My company had already set it up, and previously, and I have been doing we've been managing, the temperatures and reporting my condition. So I have a history that's been on record for more than a month now to prepare for this. Once, and we got it all signed up. We had a registered date, which would have been July 25th. I would have been at 1:30. I had a time, I had a place, a time, and everything set up. And then boom, the Japanese government says, I'm telling companies, could you wait? We don't have enough to give you after all. And so now my company said we have to postpone until the middle of August. So it's
I'm sorry about that's terrible.
I mean, we were supposed to get the second shot in August, so that's what I mean. And it's like, okay, well, fine. All right. But that was the Moderna. They were going to do Moderna. Now, she bought the city, sent me the registration, the vaccination card and the registration. And the process for that is you get a card, you get it and you sign it in, and then you have to get on the phone and call and wait in line. There's no online registration process. Everything is done on the phone.
Wow.
it's like, okay, let's go back to the third world.
Yeah,
I might as well,
we are in bureaucratic Japan, that's for
man.
sure.
And
Yeah.
okay, now if everything, let's say I get it, I get the call in, then I get to schedule whatever it is. But the process there won't start until July 19th. The process. So I don't know when I can get it. But the Shibata City is offering Pfizer.
Hmm.
Now, according to now the recent reports that I've seen, that Moderna is more effective in help against the virus variants. Pfizer's asking for a booster shot that they want to prepare for people to do, those who have had the Pfizer shot. So I'm going, if I get a Pfizer, let's say I don't really care which one I get, to be honest. I'm not worried. But if let's say I get a Pfizer, then I have to get a booster based on the system, the bureaucratic system here. I don't know when that'll happen. So maybe I'm just thinking I'll just wait for the company because that's, they're very direct. They're I can talk to them, and they seem to be very open about this. So it does for me, Greg. It was going to be this month, but it looks like it's not going to happen until August.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
And I
because
just need.
but I wouldn't believe what you hear in the media. I mean, I think that they
It's not this. No, no, no.
about
I'm not a person who only looks at one source when I'm saying these things. I'm looking at about 10 different sources, and not just the media from the U.S. I'm looking at European sources, Southeast Asian sources, Japanese sources. There's also medical resources that are published. So I'm not looking at some CNN reporter going or okay, sorry, let me be inclusive here. Fox.
yeah.
I'm,
Okay.
I'm not a Fox or CNN or the BBC only.
I
So
just love watching Japanese news, NHK or something like that, because they like when they are documenting and that's what they're doing, is they're documenting the Atami mudslides,
exactly, yeah.
things like that. They're just reporting the
Mhm.
facts. And they showed a guy on TV that was he was looking for somebody, and he couldn't talk to the reporter because he was overcome with
Right,
emotion. But
right.
they were just reporting, the number of people missing, and there was
No commentary.
no commentary. It
And
was
if
just
you want
reporting the
commentary,
news.
there are shows that do commentary in Japan, but they're at different times of the day. They're not they're not included in the national news or news broadcast, even the
No, but
local
I
news.
enjoy watching those shows too. I
Yeah,
really
it's
do.
Sunday morning
Yeah,
is the
Sunday
best,
morning.
is the
Yeah,
best one for.
yeah.
You have two or three different shows that have, and actually the lot of, I mean, unlike the states, I mean, the prime minister and his cabinet members will sit every Sunday morning. They'll be at these roundtables, and it's not just one guy. They send a spokesman. We're talking Prime Minister Suga, or before Prime Minister Abe, would be sitting there on Sunday morning at 7 a.m. talk and with seven or eight different reporters from different news sources in Japan, and they're grilling him. And it's like, and he's ready. And he talks, answers. They have dialogues, and he gets the information out from the government side. As well as the reporters can ask about things, and they get comments and stuff. And it's very good, actually. I kind of like that kind of thing. It used to happen in the states. I remember, what was the show? David Brinkley.
Oh,
This Week with David Brinkley.
yeah, that's right. He
Not
did
what
have a
it,
show.
not what it. After he
Yeah,
retired,
yeah.
the show kind of changed. But you had like Sam Donaldson, Cokie Roberts, and David Brinkley. Those three would sit down, and then would bring in different reporters, obviously from different sources, and bring in, And I really liked that show, and they were very fair. And it doesn't matter who you're religious, your your belief or political stance on stuff. Just watch the show, get information. And I also liked Meet the Press.
Yeah.
With what's his name, that he died a couple of years ago.
Oh, he died a long time ago, actually.
Well,
Now,
yeah.
um, what was his name?
See,
He had the heart attack,
right, yeah.
and
Okay.
yeah,
Everyone who watches this, please send in a message. Let me know, because my brain is going. But yeah, watching Meet the Press this week. Face the Nation, the PBS, the News Hour, all of these, I would watch all of these. And I like those, and when you can get all different sides, then I put all that information together, and then it's kind of cool. That's kind of what Japanese media is like here. But man, that I get bombarded with this Instagram, Facebook kind of crap. Don't need it. Don't need it. Anyway,
I just looked it up. It was Tim Russert.
Tim Russert. Thank you.
Yeah, he was a kind of he was the longest serving moderator of Meet the Press.
Right.
And he, that show's, I think, been on more years than just about any program.
Well, it's been on since the 40s, right?
Yeah, 50, it's been a long time. Wow. And so, but Tim Russert had a heart attack, and he died. But right. I think he died in 2008.
Yeah, see, to me it was like a couple years ago. But
pardon?
To me, it's like a couple years ago.
I know
2008's a long time.
Yeah, to me it was like a couple years ago that I came to Japan.
Well, you came here the first time when it was 2010.
No, 2004.
Right? 2004.
Yeah.
Sorry.
For the summer.
Yeah. So
I believe it was 2004 that I came for the summer. And I arrived here about the 28th of June, 28th or 29th of June. And I left for California about the 14th or 15th of August.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I saw the entire summer in Japan, the end of the rainy season, all the way into the heat of the summer and the waning of the summer, because when I returned to America, I had 2 weeks of vacation before I had to report back to my school job.
Right.
I remember that, and it's, I remember that, and I remember that how the sun was setting a lot earlier at that time. And even now, here we are we're past the start of summer officially, and then we're already going into where you have less daylight hours.
There's no daylight savings time here.
No, and it's getting darker and darker earlier at night. So I'm coming home on weekends from my weekend jobs and what I do, teaching English. I'm coming home and it's starting to get dark.
What time? I mean, like at
6:30.
Yeah, it's not that bad here. 7 is here.
Yeah, because you're.
Oh, that's right. We're on the other side. That's right.
Well, no, you're much northern latitude too.
Right, and we're on the other side of the mountain.
You're northeast of me.
Yeah,
and you are on this side of the mountains, and not that it's still a factor, but I mean, I'm far enough away from the mountains to the west that I think they probably do go behind the mountains still.
Yeah, they do still. And plus, I get to see the sunset on the Japan Sea, but you get to see the sunrise on the Pacific Ocean.
If I go about 15 miles to the south,
there's no mountains blocking that sunrise, whereas I have no mountains blocking the sunset.
Yeah, you have spectacular sunsets up in Niigata. Yeah.
Yeah. Please look at Musings in the past. You'll see the pictures.
That's right. And I mean, I just have so many pictures of that Niigata sunset as well.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I think we're about an hour into this, so we should probably wrap this one up. And please,
thanks for joining us, everyone.
Yeah, everyone, we're gonna do another one, and soon, because we've been kind of lax. We've been too busy and stuff. We want to apologize, but we want 34 to be a real fun thing, and 35 will be a special. We're gonna do a baseball one.
Talking about baseball.
We're gonna, since it's all-star time, all-star game in the States and all-star game coming up in Japan, we'll talk about baseball. And I want to talk about Ohtani Shohei. He's kind of I kind of like him, and I like his attitude on baseball and how he's affecting Americans, because I hear it in announcers and on the sports podcast I listen to. Ohtani's he's changing a lot of.
He's tearing it up.
Yeah, well, not just in his play, but in his attitude and his demeanor, which is what I like. And it's
I saw on an American friend, I saw on his Facebook that they had a thing about Ohtani, so that's really great.
Yeah, we'll share that. So, bless you, come. All right, everyone. So this is Musings from Japan 34.
34。
いやー、34回終わります。
終わります。
はい、お疲れ様でした、Greg。
お疲れ様でした。
皆さん、we'll see you next time. さようなら。
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 さようなら。